Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was so grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honourable man. So are they all honourable men. Come, I speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar has wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honourable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but I am here to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What causes hold you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has he masters? I fear there will a worse come in his place.
Mark G. his words, he would not take the crown. Therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dear abide it.
Poor soul! His eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now mark him, he begins again to speak.
But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who, you all know, are honourable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honourable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do mean to read, and they that would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, beg a hair for his memory, and, dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
The will!
The will!
The will!
We will
We
hear
will
Caesar's
hear
will.
Caesar's will!
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And, being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs. For if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Read the will. We'll hear it, Antony. You shall read us the will. Caesar's will.
Will you be patient? Will you not stay a while? I have shot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honourable men, whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honourable men.
The will!
The testament.
The testament!
They were villains, murderers. The will! Read the will!
You will compel me, then, to read the will? Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend? And will you give me leave?
Come down!
Come down!
Descend!
You shall have leave.
A ring, stand round.
Stand from the hearse. Stand from the body.
Nay, press not so much upon me. Stand far off.
Stand back. Room.
Bear back.
Bear back.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do remember this mantle. The first time ever Caesar put it on, 'twas a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the nervy. Look, in this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Though this be well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it. As rushing out of doors to be resolved, if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no, for Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all, for when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanished him, that burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statua, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Which, oh what a fool was there, my countrymen! Then I, and you, and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished above us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when but you behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here himself marred as all see, with traitors.
Oh, piteous spectacle.
Oh, noble Caesar!
Oh, woeful day.
Oh, traitors, villains!
Oh, most bloody sight.
We will be revenged. Revenge! About! Seek! Burn!
Fire!
Fire!
Kill!
Slay!
Kill!
Slay!
Slay!
Let not
traitor
traitor
live!
live!
Stay, countrymen.
Peace there. Hear the noble Antony.
We'll hear him, we'll follow him, we'll die with him.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honourable. What private griefs they have, alas, I do not know, that made them do it. They are wise and honourable, and will, no doubt, with reasons answer you. I come, not friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but, as you know me all, a plain, blunt man, that loved my friend, and that you know full well, that gave me public leave to speak of him, for I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech, to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But I were Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony, would ruffle up your spirits, and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.